Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try SkinPlace. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. SkinPlace.
Hello, welcome to another day of the CCT action. Obviously, I am Zola. I'm joined by the wonderful CMD, my caster duo, and we're going to be kicking things off here with the elimination games, Charlie. It is do or die for some of these teams. I'm excited for the CS action that will be unfolding. But before we head into it, how are you doing today? How are you feeling about today's game?
Yeah, I've had a little bit of a break, but I've been trying to keep up with the action as much as possible. It seems like we've had some pretty exciting games in our hands, Fred. And I mean, the Swiss stage, we're starting to see the pieces start to fall into place. It feels like we're starting to get a bit of an idea in terms of where teams are finishing. I'm surprised by some of the results we've got today, but we have some very exciting ones in our hands, personally, don't we? We're going to be covering at least a few elimination games. A few teams I'm surprised are actually sort of as low down here as we're seeing right now, but we've seen some very good results. I'm impressed by Young Ninjas being 2-0 already. There's a lot of tough competition in here, but I'm very excited by what we're seeing.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Young Ninjas, the fact you brought out, I got to watch them in the play-ins for this, and they looked absolutely incredible. And the fact they are continuing is the real surprising factor, because I feel like a lot of the teams that will come up through the play-ins, like the Monty Gens, currently 0-2, obviously Suspect as well, 1-1, but you don't really expect them to be going 2-0, maybe even 3-0. But the fact that Young Ninjas are there is absolutely ridiculous. I feel like their roster's stacked. A player that you have to talk about is Kaspersky. As being such a young talent to consistently put up numbers is just insane. So I'm excited for what this Young Ninjas team can kind of, the heights that they can get to. But enough about the standings, Charlie. Let's have a look at the schedule. We can showcase the lovely viewers at home what games are going to be seen today. Obviously, we're kicking things off with Preasy versus Project G, and then I believe we are jumping to Javi versus Monty Jen. So they're the two low matches, and then I believe the
Sinners versus the Suspect.
Yeah. And then to end off the day, it will be Space versus Eyeballers. So no high matches today. There's not going to be any teams progressing to the playoffs as of yet, but sadly we are going to be seeing two teams fall by the end of this morning. So sad times for those two teams, but look, let's get into it, Charlie. Let's have a look at the rosters. Let's see the teams that are going to be on display today. We'll kick things off with the Preasy side. Obviously, Equip, Tops, Skage, Becky, and Jbone. That's a difficult name to say, I'm going to be honest.
What, J-Bone?
Yeah, yeah, maybe that does sound better.
It sounds, it feels right, but I mean, either way, yeah, this Preasy team, it's going to be a difficult match for them. They always kind of are thrown into the deep end a little bit with this roster. Obviously, a lot of issues with the main roster of what used to be the Preasy team, sadly having to leave the org, and then we saw the Academy team get boosted up. It's been a bit of a tough time for them. They've had some pretty mixed results. A lot of them are a little more difficult for them, but they definitely do have glimpses and so much promise in the team as well. It's just a bit unfortunate that they weren't really given the potentially time they needed to develop in the Academy team maybe as much as they wanted to. But either way, they're here now. and they're ready to show what they can actually do. Obviously, we have had the addition of J-Bone come in only 18 days ago. Only played 5 maps with this team, so we don't really know too much really to expect just yet with his addition. There's still a few things up in the air, but I mean, the Preasy team, there's a lot of young talent, isn't there, Fred? There's a lot of time for them to really show what they can do as a full 5. There's still always going to be a bit of a teething period with these younger guys, maybe some inconsistencies, but I mean, this would be quite a solid game for them to show it, because we do have Project G on your screens right now.
Yeah, it's a kind of a perfect kind of symbolic young talent versus experience here, which I think is always an exciting game to see. Obviously, Jack's definitely the player you're going to look at when it comes to experience. Jack's been a player that's kind of played at the top level for, I want to say, 6-7 years in total. Maybe from the start of Envious. Oh, that was Envious Academy, from 3D Max. So Jax is a player with that experience. I'll be honest, I've always liked Jax as an individual, and it's just a question of what he can do here for Project G. Anything you want to mention on this roster about the individuals? I feel like Richie's definitely a player you want to talk about. He's had some good moments as of recent, similarly with Veggie, but anyone else you want to point out?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much you can pick out almost any of these players, probably apart from Era, really, for who's been around the block for God knows how long now. I mean, you've got the experience of Jax. He's got a ton of it. Even Veggie, who's, I mean, still only 24, which always blows my mind when I realize how young he actually is. I mean, he's been around for ages as well. Obviously been in that old VP team for a period of time. Those many moons back, and obviously been on a number of Polish teams since. I'm liking that he's sort of branching out a bit more to this international team. Like you said, there's a lot of experience on this one. There's a bit of a mix in ages, but everyone has at least been playing at this tier 2, tier 3 level, some of which being tier 1 as well, for a pretty solid amount of time. So it definitely is going to be an interesting project to keep your eyes on, just because we haven't seen a heap of things from these guys, but what we have seen has been very impressive, actually, especially some of their recent games. They've beaten some very solid teams. They have, obviously, though, Fred, lost their first 2 games here in Series 8.
Yeah, not the greatest of starts for them, and look, they're kind of up against the wall. They're going to have a real change of tune, or they will be eliminated. But Charlie, obviously we've spoken about the teams. We've had a little bit of a look at the schedule. Why don't we look at the rosters? Why don't we look at the veto? Sorry, and see what maps we're going to be seeing today. Anything you're kind of expecting? I feel like this Project G, we haven't really seen all too much of them when it comes to their veto. So, I'm a little bit excited to see what we're going to see. Oh, no dust ban from Project G, which is interesting. They have, in fact, removed dust instantly in their previous games against Sinners and against Eyeballers, but they've not decided to do it here.
Yeah, I was curious if Mirage was actually going to be picked, because we have seen Project G play it, but instantly just banned out from Preasy. They've had some very tough times on the map, so it is going to be the Anubis pick for Project G, with Nuke as that decider. So Inferno, Anubis, and Nuke. I mean, like you said, we haven't seen a heap from Project G. We don't know a ton of what to expect, because like I said, they've barely even played any maps, and especially in the last 3 months. We've seen some decent results from them on Inferno, at least as of late. We have seen them play it here in Series 8, in fact. Their only map win against Eyeballers, and a very close defeat to Sinners on it as well. So definitely some solid signs on this map going forward, considering it is their opponent's map pick. Anubis being picked up next. They've had a lot more mixed results on this one. An impressive win against Ruby, and then 2 pretty one-sided losses against Eyeballers and Sinners. So, I mean, clearly, I like that it's not dissuading them away from picking a map that they feel comfortable on. Even though we've seen some pretty disappointing signs from them recently. But Nuke's going to be an exciting decider as well. Obviously, Danish team, so they're always going to bring some level of heat. And we've seen a decent game. I mean, a reasonably close loss, I suppose, to Ruby, who are obviously a pretty solid Nuke team themselves.
Something I do want to point out, actually, Charlie, is yes, okay, Project G lost to Sinners on Inferno, but Sinners are kind of renowned as a very, very strong Inferno team. Not only do they seem to pick it in every single series as that kind of first map, or second if they're second in the vetoes. But the fact they get 11 rounds against Sinners, I'm pretty impressed with that actually, because Sinners are usually the team that can just dominate on Inferno, and obviously taking that map against Eyeballers as well. Eyeballers are a team that are clearly quite comfortable in it too. So I'm quite excited to see how this series goes. I think if Project G can take map 1, then they've got obviously a very strong chance. And with it being Inferno, Charlie, we talk about Inferno being kind of the king of the third maps. We talk about being a map that kind of everyone knows, and I guess that's something that Preasy are confident with, and they're hoping that they can take map 1. But look, Charlie, we're heading into the action now. We're going to be kicking things off on map 1. It is Inferno, and let the excitement commence.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, like I said, seen some decent signs from Project G on this map, albeit not too many maps actually played of it, but that's a statement that can be said for pretty much their entire map pool right now.
Yeah, I think Anubis is the only map that you can really say, okay, they've got some.
And even then,
yeah,
even then, you can't. It's going to be a tough argument to make, really. But yeah, Preasy, obviously their map pick going to be an important victory for them. Both teams one series away from elimination, so obviously no second chances here.
Bit of a quiet start, bit of a slow start here for Preasy. So they're going to be taking control of brackets, and it will be the right call. Ooh, the smoke towards long. Could see a rotation come through here from Project G. Veggie, he's in a nice position here towards apartment. Oh, in the hopes to take contact, he will find one. Top still in apps to deal with. Veggie, in fact, kind of needs to swing. Oh, final bullet, the mag will find him, and Era's rotation in can find 3. And Veggie and Era, a very, very nice setup towards A. They deal with that A aggression pretty comfortably, it has to be said, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Era goes down there. You look at how that setup's played. Veggie's very isolated from his teammates. Sure, he gets the early contact and gets the information for Era to sort of make his way into the site from Moto. But when there's 3 players charging you down, you're like, okay, Era's definitely gone. Somehow, we've been watching the Veggie fight. Era's finding 3 in the meantime.
Yeah.
So excellent stuff from him.
I'll be honest, I think Veggie should have, got the first kill towards short, but I really don't think he should have been able to get that second in apartments. I think the spacing and trading from Preasy needed to be better, whether it's one of the short players getting that pick or whether it's tops towards apartments. But yeah, just not a great start for Preasy at all. No kill even found in the pistol.
Yeah, we've seen a few pistols like this from the T's on Inferno, where they do sort of just play it really slow, mess around a little bit. I mean, see J-Bone taking a couple of pot shots at the Bells and T-spawn. A bit of a Netu classic there.
A Netu classic, wow. I'm sure he'd love to know that, there's a call out with his name.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time, it's, whether it's a Zywoo or he's in Nico, he's playing towards Magis. No, it's the Netu classic.
Obviously, sitting at T-spawn, shooting at the Bells. One kill at least found in this one from the Glocks. That is all that will be found. A couple of decent bullets going into Era, chipping him down low, but not able to actually find him. So, Prodigy, a reasonably clean Antico, only losing 1 player, that being Jax.
And look, there was 4 kills found with the MP9s. Not bad at all.
But this is the more important one here, Preasy. They got the weapons in play. The issue is, obviously, it's always going to be a bit of a lackluster buy going for the second round eco. It is pretty damn lackluster, the fact that not a single decent amount of kills were found. It was just that single one, so no kill reward could have at least been added up. But the mid aggression is pretty solid, and the round looks pretty shut down here. Tops needs to find this kill, and now it's interesting.
Yeah, things have spiced up in this round. 1 versus 3 down to that 1-on-1. Reposition from Richie here. Ooh, has just found the bomb, so I think Richie's got a real advantage. He's gonna make his way into apartments. Oh, it's all gonna be about timing here for Richie. Tops though decidedly pushing towards middle. Now the mind games commence.
Just the MP9 though. Got plenty of util, but obviously doesn't want to give up his deep position advantage that he does have.
Yeah, Tops is not ready for it though. Not in the slightest. Ooh. Now we're going to be on that bomb retrieval mission. Should be able to find it, but Richie, just as he peeks, will find, and round goes the way of Project G. And initially, Charlie, it looked pretty good for Project G. We saw that double kill come through, but then there was the trading kind of portion of the round, and the fact that, Tops can find 2 there. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, nice couple of kills. I mean, the first one, nice and easy. Jack's been low HP, but still a clean headshot. At that point, I think you've kind of just got to say, alright, Jax is dead. It's probably not worth me going for this swing. Just in terms of what it does mean. But it's always difficult because these pros obviously always so used to going for these easy trades, making sure they get the kills. But yeah, going against a bit here. B-Rush, I like the amount of user. We'll actually see it from the T's, but Richie and Truth just shut it down. No problem.
Yeah, so comfortable there. And Richie didn't even use his HE. It's not as though it was kind of brunted up, you know, by the util damage. Okay, yeah, there was a molly in play and the nade came through, but it's not as though the T's were dropped down to 1 HP. It was, you know...
Yeah, if anything, the nade that was actually thrown from Truth was a little deep, to be fair, but... Yeah, it doesn't really seem to matter. All 5 survive once again for Project G, and this is an excellent start. But Fred, if you do want an excellent start to a bit of your inventory game, why don't you check out the giveaway over at Hellcase? Hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of skins to be won. I wouldn't mind some of those, to be fair. I have to enter it myself after this one.
I was gonna say, your inventory needs bolstering up, and Hellcase could be the way to go.
Very early banana control taken. Look at this gamble from Project G. You got 4 players here. I mean, could just be to drop some utility, but the call is excellent. There's no way Project G should ever lose this one. They have every mana they could possibly need towards this site, but they keep on swinging, keep on losing the fights, and somehow a 4-man B hold has been shut down, and Veggie is in the 1 versus 3 all alone.
Yeah, the problem is it was just the first player to take contact there from Project G. Just goes down to equip instantly, and I think if the player towards second orange goes 1 for 1, then there's a bit of a kind of a stagnant aggression, a bit of a delay, and that's where Preasy might have struggled to get into the bomb site. But we see all 4 players there in isolated moments, in isolated positions. There was no kind of players swinging off one another, poor trading, poor spacing there, and kind of not the greatest of 4-man setups for Project G. Has to be said, doesn't it, Charlie?
Yeah, it feels like we saw so many risks being taken. Honestly, when those first 2 players go down for near nothing, I'd probably just say let them die and hope that the extra 2 players there might just actually catch off the final guys. Maybe wait for the bomb plant, because you could see pretty much no one had their gun out for that final player who swung. Yeah, they were not ready for that. Maybe if they waited a little longer for the bomb plant, we'd see players start to try to take some deeper control and not realise that there's going to be resistance up against them, but did fall apart quite heavily there, but positive sign at least for Preasy early on their T side, but all pays out for J-Bo.
Yeah, still the investment from Project G, and obviously the AWP could have been brought out by Richie, but they've opted against it, so... Potentially Project G want to be going on the front foot here on their CT side. Maybe an aggressive push here towards Banana with 3 players currently heading their way there. They are just going to be leaving Era towards top Banana. Will retreat himself. Kind of needs to see a bit of a rotation here from Project G. They've got 3 players towards the B bomb site, but they aren't really playing, you know, it's not as though they're taking space. Veggie falls, and now it's just Jax alone. Smoke's faded here towards middle. I think the best thing for Project G is just the save. I think going for this is just so unnecessary.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like there's many positives in attempting a round like this now, and I think they're fully aware of it. Are going to be conceding it, are going to be getting out of buy in the next, and this is where, is it just a 1.9 loss?
Yeah, it's not much, but Richie can still drop an AWP.
Yeah, he can drop the AWP over, but the issue is, I think, it is going to be that question of, are we going to see the AWP, because there's probably a world in which Aaron said, I'm playing really well with the rifle right now, let me just stick with it.
Yeah.
That might change now, though. Potentially after losing that round, they might say, okay, yeah, let's not mess around. Let's get the big green out.
Look, as well, Charlie, I think the difficult thing is we saw the triple B setup, yet they're not taking any space. And Preasy, okay, yeah, it's a good call for them to go A, but it's just the fact that Project G, they send an extra player towards the B bomb site just to sit towards top Banana. I don't really see the value in that.
stuck with the rifle once again, though. As Preasy are able to string at least a couple of rounds together, flash towards second mid just to ensure no Orbers getting a little more aggressive than they should.
Speaking of Warpers though, J-Bone posted up here towards car.
Yeah, Preasy gonna have a relatively easy time taking Banana once again.
Oh, bit of a missed flashbang there. Well, not miss, but blinding his own team. Needed the smoke to come through, but J-Bone in fact decides against it.
Yeah, Richie was left on his own here. Felt like the CT wanted to gamble a bit more towards A. They're still kind of in that mindset. I mean, look how passively Trick is playing towards B. Very deep towards CT, ready to rotate. Started to creep his way slightly closer now, just in case. See, this is the issue. Because Project G don't have any control towards Banana, they don't have any control towards apartments, they have no info.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see Era actually gamble a rotation. But this is off of nothing. Just a bit of util being thrown.
Bomb is on J-Bone. Oh, it looks like they're going to make their way back towards B. Very minimal time here, Charlie, and the utility's not perfect. And as you mentioned, Era gambling here towards the B bomb site. Util coming through with such limited time. Great trade from J-Bone though. Top still towards apartments, will find Veggie. Final player just towards the new box in Richie. He's got so much work to do, can find the first, but will go down. Important trade here, and the bomb can come through. Very minimal time remaining. They know that Tops is still towards the A bomb side, but great find there from Skage. It's all on Jax here, but he's just going to save. Project G. They're struggling a little bit. But it's that lack of space, as you said. Preasy, they can just so comfortably go for those kind of last minute, oh, actually, let's pivot back towards B. We don't really have as much control on the A-bomb site as we like, but the fact that Preasy can take control towards apartments and top Banana, it just leaves Project G guessing.
Yeah, and that's the biggest issue on Inferno. You don't necessarily have to keep hold of any of the positions, but if you can sort of send yourself in, get a flashbang, have a double push, have something towards somewhere in the map, just to give you a bit of extra info so you can make some calls off of that.
Well, it's not only about the extra info, but also, you know, you might be able to find a pick off that kind of retake utility. And also, it kind of shows some form of confrontation. You know, if you're just sitting on the bomb sites, Preasy are just going to 5-man execute and you're going to get overwhelmed. Unless you have gone a really, really good gamble or you get some openers. It's just the fact that Preasy can just walk their way into both apartments and Banana with no conflict. They got no worry at all.
Yeah, Bios once again being scraped together with all Project G, and pretty solid one of that. They are missing a couple of pieces of util, but all in all, it's a near perfect buy considering they have just lost 3 on the bounce and haven't ecoed in a single one of them yet.
But they have now got the AWP out. Tight angle here from Era, with the hopes that one of the Preasy individuals will slowly creep their way into it. Something to point out, Charlie, though. Project G, when it comes to statistics, although there's only a sample size of 2 of their maps, they are usually far better on the T side than they are on the CT side. So, at least there's some positives here for Project G. Let's say they end the half only with 4. It's not as though they're going to be out of kind of works, but Richie, that is an incredible triple. But then we see the repeat there from Truth. Once again, Charlie, it was kind of what we saw in that 1v3 from Tops. I don't think Truth needs to peek there. Already, Richie's done so well to get 3.
I think this info should be given... Oh, Jax, that's an excellent kill. I was going to say the info should be given of J-Bone holding towards CT. Evidently not, but Jax's angle too strong. And J-Bone with a nice triple does get nothing from it, though.
Yeah, very good from Richie there. The flashbang as well was excellent.
But it was just off of Preasy sending in a flash of their own. The fact that Richie finds just that final player before going down is actually insane.
But as we said, Charlie, that was the first round where Project G had some form of control. We had 2 players towards top Banana. We had Era posted up towards apartments, you know, on top Balk. It seemed like they had you know, some form of aggression, some form of control, and it's kind of what gained them the round. One flashbang, blinding 3. Nice stuff from Richie. Oh, speaking of flashbangs, one has just been used to send Equip in. Nice find there, no trade potential as well with the molly being down.
No trade potential from either player. Didn't seem to matter though. Equip takes that fight. Not even the best game as well, but still confident enough to take down Richie. He does so very cleanly as well. Proof is going to be under pressure.
Simple opener, final 3 just to save, and the idea is that Becky potentially going to try and find him on this save. Oh, I like this setup there towards apartments. Oh, posted up between the legs there of Veggie.
It's a bit more of a back and forth game now. Becky does go down through the opposite formation of 2 players gained, and you can start to see Preasy look like they were rotating towards.
Yeah, potential for a bit of a hunt as 2 players push through T-Apps. As you said though, Charlie, Preasy have kind of got themselves back into this. It was what, a 4-0 start, I believe?
Yeah.
And the fact that now it's that 5-4 scoreline, all it takes is one more round from Preasy, not only leveling things up, but should take the advantage as we're expecting an investment from Project G in this one.
Those weapons have been allowed to be saved, so we can see another buyout again from Project G. They could also just take the eco alongside these weapons if they wanted. But weapons being recycled over, tactical pause just to discuss the financial situation. But I mean, to be fair, Project G have done a good job to never actually have to eco this game. Considering they were 4-0 up, they've lost 4 out of the last 5 rounds, and not a single eco's needed to be taken is pretty impressive.
Well, look, that's Inferno, though, isn't it? I feel like it's always a map that you see those continual saves. Interestingly, Charlie, I think we've got 2 MP9s in play, yet Era could have dropped over an M4, Veggie could have dropped over a FAMAS. I don't really know why we've got these SMGs in play. I'm very hopeful for the fact that Project G are going to be getting super aggressive towards Banana, and that's the only reason they've got these MP9s in play, but otherwise I see no real benefit. The MP9s are making their way towards Banana. Ooh, Veggie. Gonna be found, and that's one of the premium weapons falling. This could just be this acceleration towards A. Jax. Just gonna send the re-smoke here towards bottom mid. Ooh, Richie. Smoked off now, and these 2 MP9s are retaking. It's not going to be easy. Era on the AWP. Oh, and Tops finds him. Truth getting 2, though. And they can upgrade to those AKs now. Brought it down to this 3-on-3. A possible round now for Project G.
Yeah, they've opted again to actually make their way into the bomb site when they had the chance. This could be their undoing. Looking at the util that we do have from the T's, I actually think this is going to be a save again.
Yeah, I think it's probably the right decision. Could maybe just look for some exits, but with that second smoke going down, then that's going to be the call for Project G. Just to save here. But yeah, Charlie, I completely agree with you. After Truth gets that double picks up the AKs, I think that's where we could have just easily seen both of them creep their way onto the A bomb site. But the fact that Era and Veggie both go down for nothing, and that was kind of the AK and AWP saved, a little bit unfortunate. It begs the question, you know, Veggie, he's looking for that aggressive peek towards middle. If there was a flashbang that comes over the top, or just any supportive player, whether it's utility, whether it's kind of a secondary peek, Era could have been holding bottom mid when Veggie's peeking towards second mid, but seemed very disjointed there from Project G, and it will allow Preasy to find themselves their 5th leveled up game now.
Yeah, I'm interested that we have actually made it here to this leveled up position, but it is Preasy's map pick after all. We are at least expecting a decent bit more fight from them.
Oh, quick aggression from Preasy. Just a simple B rush, the utility taking down the first. Surely just a save again from Project G. They're locked out of the bomb site. 2 smokes, 2 flashes is all they have to try and retake. But I think Preasy, it has to be said, Charlie, Preasy have had a very good T side. All things considered. We saw Project G take the pistol. Obviously, win the eco. First rifle round, and ever since then, it's, you know, 5 out of the last 6, or more like 6 out of the last 7 that's gone their way. No up saved from Era, and Skage can just defend that.
Flash does come out. Veggie is tucked.
Oh,
Not able to find a quip though, and yeah, this save is looking more and more desperate as Jax has to take this fight towards Arch. Does find one, picks up the AWP, takes down a second.
Oh,
AWP does get saved into this final round, so there's at least a bit of a fighting chance.
Once again, though, the buy's not even that bad. Just one survivor, but Jax has got an M4, same with Truth, and we've got 2 MP9s in play. It's not all too bad from the likes of Project G. We haven't seen a single eco from them, Charlie. They have lost 6 rounds. They have lost the majority of these rounds, and they've not seen an eco. Jax has 3 deaths. Please explain this to me, Charlie. Please explain it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, it just does show when Preasy are winning rounds how dominant some of their bomb site takes has been. I think the last round's a perfect example of that. It's a perfect call and excellent time. A Veggie towards apartments, towards the Valk. With the MP9, shuts down the aggression from Preasy, and this will be a round going the way of Project G. A leveled up half.
You understand getting the first and maybe even the second, but the fact that Preasy can't trade him out, impressive stuff there from Veggie. MP9, as I said, you know, not too bad of a buy. MP9s, they work well. Veggie single-handedly kind of rips any chances away, and then obviously we see both Jax and Era finding their picks too. But look, I think if you're Project G, you find 6 rounds on not only your opponent's map pick, but your weaker half. And then for Project G, look, you're 4 rounds down. And now you've leveled it up 6-6. I think both teams will kind of be happy with this first half. Bit odd to say, but
yeah, still a very interesting half that we do have on our hands here. And Project G, although we have seen some positive signs from them on this map with some of their closer games, doesn't really mean that this one they are actually going to be able to take over the line.
I was going to question this setup from Preasy, kind of all playing towards the right-hand side, but the fact that it's going to be kind of a short and app spot, oh, that is great damage there onto J-Bone. Oh, Jackson Ritchie start things off nicely, but J-Bone still tucked away. He was low HP, but could find 2. And now the rotating Skage and a quit. We've got a fair bit of utility to work with. Jack's now to plant. Just a default plant here. Nothing too fancy.
And Molotov are going to get thrown out towards pit. No one residing there though. Jack's playing in a really strange angle. Does find one. Oh, sorry, does get taken down, but Era's there for the trade. Yeah, Jack's angle sort of concerns me a bit. It's like he's out looking for a fight.
He's open to like 4 positions.
Doesn't seem to matter as Project G do win the round. I mean, J-Bone made that one very interesting. Despite being dinked and literally being 1 bullet from death, finding a couple of kills.
Yeah, very impressive. I like that pistol call though. I think Project G, the fact they find those 2 picks just so quickly makes it so difficult for Preasy. I think if Project G kind of continue with that level of speed, I think things can work out quite nicely for them. Obviously with this just being the eco from Preasy, we're not really expecting much from them. USP is going to push their way in now. Jax just needing to get his gun out. Crept up the left-hand side, and oh, Jax will be able to find plenty. Do they have 3 Mac-10s in play?
They certainly did have a decent amount on max.
Because I wanna question if anyone saved. Oh, okay, yeah, someone did save Jax's AK. Thank God. a little bit worried there.
I mean, regardless, round on the board. I mean, Project Z, these pistols have been doing them quite a few favours in terms of where their flaws do lie. They have been exposed elsewhere, and with the help of these pistols, have certainly yielded them quite a bit more success.
Yeah, most definitely. I like that Preasy have kind of opted for the FAMAS for the MP9, just ensuring that they can get not only a diffuse kit out, but a lot of utility. And with Equip's SMG, he's taking a lot of control here towards bottom banana. Problem is, there won't be a rotation in time. Becky's playing towards apartments. Oh, nice find, but oh, Veggie! Not only does he get the first while running, but the second secured in a nice fashion too. 4 on 3 here, and just going to be the save from Preasy. Tops now potentially just needs to back away, try and keep himself alive.
Yeah, I mean, already Jax and Richie are starting to look quite inquisitively elsewhere on this map.
But look, Project G, it's going to be 9-6, Charlie. This is Preasy's map pick. That's something that we've got to point out.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken about Anubis and how things could have fared on that one. But it is going to be important for Preasy to be able to take their map pick. I mean, although they are not too bad at Anubis, it's a map that they don't mind playing. They have got some very, very mixed results. I mean, most recently, losing 13-1. It's a map that it feels like Inferno needs to be won. And if you win it 2-0, brilliant. But if you don't, at least you've got yourself that chance on the third and final. But so far, Project G have extended their lead 9-6 right now.
Something I do want to talk about, Charlie, is if you look back, it's quite a while ago now, from the Preasy side. They played against Zero Tenacity on Anubis, and Zero Tenacity are known for being an Anubis team, in the fact that they play probably 80 maps over 3 months of Anubis. That is kind of their main map, right? They only lost 13-11 to it. So, maybe Preasy's Anubis is better than we kind of think.
I mean, it's difficult to know because they've had some super mixed results on it.
Yeah, definitely. But I suppose we'll find out soon enough.
Equip does find the first. Flashbang's good enough to stop him getting the second, but Trade is quick after. So now Project G, disadvantage round to try to come back from.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but there's still just the one defender from Skage here towards B.
Here we're going to be spearheading this attack here.
I've still got a feather to you still hit. Preasy aren't taking any control here towards A, which means...
They are starting to, though. That's the thing. They're starting to clear out brackets, pushing towards mid. And they are going to be getting this early information. Project G probably don't realise they've got to hurry this up right now, or it is never going to happen. The nade through the smoke is really smart, knowing that they've got to push. But look how many players are behind, and look how quickly they are behind.
Ooh, the flashbang's good. It will delay them even further. There is no way they're going to be prepared for 3 players this fast. Smoke's fading. Era will get 1.
Ooh, nice a bit late there, but still, Truth able to actually find that kill. So Veggie now in the 1 versus 2 towards the pillar.
Veggie just holding for Skage. Timing, and he finds one. Aware the second plays towards Banana. Oh, unfortunate for Veggie there. You see his kind of peak a little too far, shoots at the pillar. But J-Bone, important clutch. It denies Project G continuing their streak. But still, I think that got a lot closer than it possibly should have. There was 3 players towards Banana there from Preasy.
I mean, the fact that Era's just sort of sitting in the smoke ready for it, he's able to find 1. It felt like the info was super late for Truth to react, but... Or maybe he just didn't process it himself, but managed to somehow find 1 of his own. And Veggie, there's a real world where he does win that round.
Yeah, definitely. Still the investment out for Project G. Finances looking okay on the likes of Vegeta and Richie. With just the one survivor for Preasy though. They haven't got the perfect money themselves. Molly and nades coming through. Double nade in the smoke, and Equip will send himself down. These steps surely going to be heard though. Quite an early smoke towards Apps there. Being the pit player to use it could make things a little bit difficult in the later rounds if Project G decide to head towards A.
I mean, we're seeing a decent bit of util being held on for Project G. They do still have a solid amount, but the same thing can be said from Preasy. Neither team has been forced to use too much of it and showed a decent bit of discipline, but starting to see now brackets being tested.
Ooh, with that flashbang coming over towards B, we still see Richie
Sitting towards bottom banana, and just the shots alone kind of deter him away. But because it was just one set of shots, I think Preasy are thinking, okay, this is probably just a lurk towards B. We can maybe gamble a rotation across.
obviously we can just see a smoke bin dropped here from Skage, but once again, it's going to be Skage all alone here. There's 20 seconds remaining. Finally, Equip's going to be rotating, and he does have a flashbang. Charlie, there's 18 seconds left. We need to see a faster approach here, but Equip, he's on the boost now. Jumps his way on through, and the one flash from Equip does absolutely everything there. Bomb to be planted, and an attempt at denial, and it will go down. Veggie now just needs to survive. Oh, Veggie, what is going on here? And he's going to go down after time, Charlie. But Project G, there was 30 seconds and they were at top banana. All they needed to do is push through the smoke. But for some reason, they just decide, you know what? Let's just wait 15 seconds. And then we'll go. We'll give ourselves even less time to work with.
Yeah, I want to line up every single bit of util. The issue is they did just need to speed things up quite a bit. And we're seeing Sketch towards B numerous times alone. And he's handling it pretty comfortably most rounds. Just because we're not really seeing that fast burst from Project G that is really going to overwhelm that bomb site and take it. No problems. Yeah, he's getting closer and closer, and finally, Fred, we're seeing a pretty weak buyout from Project G.
Something I want to point out, Charlie, is we see it a lot of the time, where I feel like the phrase "too many cooks in the kitchen" is always a perfect one. Where you've got 4 players towards, looking for an execute, and you've got 3 of them throwing utility. Or you've got kind of 2 people sitting at the back, communication's not clear, and that's why there's a delay. I think in that moment, all they need to do, you have 1 person smoking CT, 1 person, like the same person throwing 2 flashes over, you send 3 people in, and that round only goes the way of Project G. And speaking of rounds that should go the way of Project G, this one's becoming one, because that double from Richie, not only does it give the weapons to his teammates, but it rips apart the advantage. Oh, timing is excellent for Veggie. The Tech 9 securing.
I mean, look at J-Bone.
Yeah,
He's in this smoke, does get found by Truth's Tech 9 in the round. I mean, of course, this is the round to go the way of Project G. An absolutely ludicrous one, but Richie with an excellent double towards Banana with that AK. And from then on out, J-Bone being the only player towards B, it was eventual that he would get taken down. Would have hoped he could do a little bit more before so, but Becky, all that remains now is going to be saving this in board. Good bit of util alongside it. I'm not too sure about the rest of the Preasy finances, how it's looking.
It's not great. It's not perfect, it has to be said.
I've never noticed there's a watermelon sitting in some sort of basin.
No, that's the watermelon pot.
Was that cool?
No. So it's a tradition in Italy to have just a pot next to a somewhat of an archway.
This is where you're just making stuff up, but it's actually true.
Oh yeah, possibly. You never know. Look,
interesting piece of decor though. I like it.
What, the porcelain pot for a watermelon?
Porcelain melon, yeah. I need to get some of those in my house. Either way, yeah, like you said, money definitely not good for Preasy whatsoever. So they are going to have to take this partial investment around this M4. And even then, it's not even that much of an investment. You can see equip just with 2 flashbangs. A couple of players have invested in upgraded pistols and armor.
It's so tough though, because that was the round that Preasy should have taken. It would have been a 9-9 scoreline. Now it would have been the full investment from both sides, and we'd have kind of an interesting end to the game. But the fact that Project G have taken it just off the back of Richie's double opener towards B, weaponry upgrades, obviously we see Veggie find one with a tech and Truth as well. It's just so unfortunate for Preasy, because that's the type of round that can change the entire game, and seemingly it might have done. Guess that's something we'll find out, but look, Pistols have found a pick. M4 can be picked up as well on top bulk.
This round's still... be careful here. I mean, B-side's completely open. It's a full gamble from Preasy. And even with it being a full gamble, this is still a very difficult round for them to take. Jax doesn't have armor.
Hey, look, armor's overrated, right?
Guess he wants to level up things a little bit more, and you can see that lack of armor coming into effect. Richie once again double with this AK, ready for the third. Ooh. Does find it, and it's all on J-Bone. Deagle, unarmored players have their util out though, fumbling, and ammo is such a cruel mistress. Does get found due to that. I think if you had 2 bullets left in that mag, there's a real possibility. Finds that final player, 1 more bullet in the chamber, to potentially find the last. And I mean, although J-Bone's only 10 and 11, it feels like he's been a really big player for Preasy so far in this game.
Yeah, had some big moments. I feel like even some of the rounds that, or some of the kills that didn't provide rounds for Preasy, is we see J-Bone on that pistol, he got dinked straight away and still found 2. I feel like J-Bone's had moments, but sadly not amounted to much. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, obviously won the 1v1 against Veggie as well, but yeah, had a number of moments like that sort of pit play you were talking about.
Well, it's so tough because you talk about a player who gets impact kills, and if those rounds were converted from Preasy, we would kind of be praising the impact that J-Bone had, you know, tenfold. But it's just the fact that J-Bone's having these moments and rounds aren't being secured. But that's a big pick there from J-Bone as he takes down Era. The bomber has been dropped as well, so Jack's gonna have to make his way back, and it's now both Truth and Veggie to try and find a pick. And just spotting out Becky will find, but Truth now down to 6 HP. Veggie gonna be sent out of apartments here. Ooh, has spotted one towards library. He's gonna drop his way down. Oh, it's all gonna be about timing.
And Tom's is so isolated. The volley from Veggie looks impeccable. Force him once again forward towards Zero Box. Which again is pushing through to support. This is excellent. Look how low the final 2 Ts are.
Smoke's gonna fade soon. Truth gets one! Oh, the double from Truth! And although both these players are low, it's against the AWP. J-Bone, doesn't really matter that they're lacking in the health department, but J-Bone will find one. Very prepared for Truth as well. Lovely clutch there from J-Bone. And the real kind of important question is, look, the AWP shot rings off. Where's the swing? They know they're against the AWP of J-Bone. It would have been kind of perfect. I would have liked to see kind of Project G play maybe a little bit more on the front foot, play a little bit more aggressive, because unless if a collat comes through, J-Bone's surely falling in that scenario.
Or it should even be where's the complete lack of swing. Why are we not seeing these plays completely tucked, where J-Bone has to be so extended out to be able to find any of them? And then there's the easiest trade either of these guys should ever get in their lives. But,
well, look,
yeah, a bit disjointed.
It's that kind of decision-making process in which it's clear that Jax wanted to maybe have a little bit of a look, and obviously Truth wanted to play really passive, and slight communication error could change the whole game. Project G, though, they're still on 11. Finances fairly weak for Preasy as well, as we've still got these 2 MP9s in play. A big triple there from J-Bone.
Very much did make it a possibility. J-Bone towards Banana once again. He's going to get posted up.
I don't think Project G, even though this was how J-Bone got the kill in the last, I don't think Project G are going to be prepared for it. Just on the basis that it seems like a very gimmick play. Well, they do send the flashbang over, but... Era posted up. It's all going to be over time. It's all going to be on whether J-Bone decides to swing. Oh, he's been spotted and he has been found. Great awareness there from Jax. Jax has really impressed me this game. When you look at this Project G roster, obviously Jax is, you know, stacked when it comes to experience, but individually, it's not as though Jax has had an incredible last couple months. It has usually been Veggie, Era, and Richie to step up, so Jax has had a very good time on Inferno so far.
And his good time, good spell, disaster for Preasy. As you mentioned, money is not good for them at all. Losing the early man has forced them to go for this gamble. The gamble is excellent, though. They do have tops in the flank.
Yeah, the problem is when Tops kind of emerges, when he finally strikes. Player boosted up, but Era will find the flanking Tops. Jax takes down Equipped, and things go from bad to worse. Becky's double keeps things a possibility, but Skage needs to get all three! Oh, and he does!
The tag there, the leg is devastating from Era, but the fact that Skage can find all three is ridiculous. How is that even possible? The second player had to get the trade there, but it was just the awkward positioning. True that he boosted himself up kind of on the lip, and in doing so, he can't trade so easily, but somehow that's another clutch going the way of Preasy, the last being a 1v3, the one prior a 1v2 from J-Bone.
Yeah, Preasy, when the stars are needed most, that's when they step up. A really excellent triple there.
And keeps things very interesting here on Inferno. But it feels like Project G did everything in that round.
Yeah.
But then they continued to sort of trust in their gut and say, yeah, we'll hit towards B. It wasn't even questioned that, okay, there's a flanking player towards Banana. This is likely meaning they're fully stacked here towards B. And they just continued going into the B grinder, and one player really manhandled the push.
Oh, well, I'll be honest, Charlie, it's the fact that they find the flank. Tops goes down, but Becky can swing through the smoke and find two, and then Skage can win the 1 versus 3. These are scenarios in which these individuals should be at maximum getting 1 kill. But the fact they are just able to find these multis quite comfortably is a little bit disappointing. We've spoken about the trading for Project G not being perfect. Obviously, we saw that in the clutch, but nice opener here from Richie. Skage forced back here from B. Second man by his side, though, of J-Bone.
Yeah, seen a bar like this be won just a few rounds ago, in fact, from Project G.
It was just a hero rifle from Richie getting the opener in that round before, and the fact he's able to do it again is very impressive.
He did find 2 kills in the last, which really did set things into motion.
Yeah, denied any chance.
I'm gonna say, he looked like he was ready for J-Bone. I wouldn't be surprised at how Richie's playing if he was confident enough to look for the peek onto the AWPer.
Yeah, the problem that Project G are going to face in this one is just the lack of utility. And the setup's looking pretty strong. Tops just holding a flash in hand, whether it's for Skage to peek towards long, whether it's bounced off the wall for Becky. But it's a really, really good setup. The problem is the Deagle can strike at any moment. They're going to push their way through, and oh, Tops, just with that Deagle, just with that flash in hand, gets a little bit manhandled there by the Deagle. Trade's coming through, but oh, it's just going to have to be the save. J-Bone. So tough. Can't opt to go for it. It's a 1v3, but Project G find 12 now, Charlie. They've guaranteed a spot in OT, and now they've got 2 opportunities to close out map 1.
Yeah, such a back and forth game here. And it feels like the biggest Jax play I think I've ever seen. Just sort of jumping into the bomb site. Deagle connects, and I mean ludicrous, really ludicrous way for Project G to find map point on their opponent's map pick of all things. Preasy up against the wall. We've seen some really scrappy rounds in the last few, but it has made some entertaining CS.
Well, something we've got to point out, Charlie, is, okay, yeah, we've got, I believe it was, Tops on the bomb site holding a flash? I want to say it was. The problem with that is your pit player isn't actually looking short. So, okay, yeah, Jax jumps round the corner and makes noise. Jax could have effectively just shifted the whole way up. So
Yeah, I think Preasy just so used to sort of the util coming their way as the indication that maybe just weren't expecting to play anything like that.
Charlie, look at the weaponry that Preasy have to work with. Equip's got a USP and utility. We've got 2 5.7s, an MP9, and J-Bone's orb. J-Bone could have in fact dropped a 5.7 over to Equip, but that hasn't been done.
Do we see the spamming around like this? No.
Strong A setup.
The Smoke God has isolated these short players. This would be the time to go. If they go to, Flash comes out. Flash actually not good enough. Doesn't matter though. Jax's double entry certainly is, and the round has fallen apart. J-Bone couldn't attempt the 1v3 in the last. Has to attempt the 1v5 in this one.
We'll get the first.
Gonna be given a few more opportunities, but the only opportunity he wasn't ready for was Era in the backlines, and Fred. Project G have gone on to take it. Inferno has gone their way.
Yeah, I think Project G, it seemed as though they were all kind of always on the front foot. They were always the ones in control here of Inferno. And Charlie, we mentioned the problems of picking a map like Inferno. We mentioned the risks of, okay, yeah, you might be a strong team on it, but Project G also, they've got knowledge, they've got experience on this map, and it's not as though you're kind of instant picking a map like Vertigo, like Nuke, one of which you can kind of have the strategical advantage. Inferno, it's a map that Jax has probably got, you know, 600-700 maps on in his career. It's a map that all of these players for Project G are going to know like the back of their hand, and that's the risk that Preasy really kind of, they really pose when picking it. And obviously losing now, they're on the back foot. They're going to be playing Anubis, and they've got to take it. Similar statement to Nuke, because Charlie, there is no second chances for both of these teams. The loser here will be removed from the Swiss stage. No chance for the prospects of playoffs, and it will be done for them. But obviously an exciting map to be underway very shortly. But Charlie, we're going to jump to a short break beforehand.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events! At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault, and the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skinplace.
Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom, instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skinplace.
you sick of just opening cases? Join the events. At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall.
Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance.
Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault. And the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom, instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Welcome back. We are going to be heading back into the action here. Second map of the series, Anubis, selected by Project G. And it has to be said, Charlie, Project G, they look pretty good on Inferno. I feel like when you look at some of the rounds that were attained by Preasy, there were those 1v3s, there were those kind of big clutches, big moments. Yeah, I feel like for the likes of Project G, player that we have to point out, Richie, he was really, really good towards Banana on that T side. Great at finding those openers. I was quite impressed with Jax as well. I feel like not usually seen as that kind of top performer, as that key fragger for this team. Yet, he went 19 and 12, he had the most kills on their team, but everyone had moments. You know, you look at the bottom performer to the top, there's only a difference of 6 kills, everyone positive when it comes to the KD ratio, and everyone with a decent rating as well. So I think Project G, they played really well. It's going to be a tough battle for Preasy, but Charlie, do you think they can take it? Do you think they can do it here on Anubis?
I mean, did Project G play brilliantly on Inferno as a team? No. Did they play brilliantly individually? Yeah. I mean, everyone had their moments. I mean, not a single player was negative KD-wise. Everyone had a pretty good HLDD rating. You mentioned Jax with Richie right beside him. He had so many rounds that he probably individually won for the team. But that could be said about a number of different players on the Project G side. Things weren't looking as good for Preasy individually. I mean, you have players like Equip on 7 kills, Tops on 9 kills. No one could really step up other than sort of Sketch and J-Bone in moments to the Project G firepower that they did offer today, or at least on map number 1.
Yeah.
It is going to make things difficult for Anubis if sort of the individuals can continue this way for Project G, considering it is their map pick, but we have at least seen some good signs from Preasy on Anubis in the past. Biggest issue is it is very inconsistent a map for them. They've had some very hefty losses, but they've also had some decent wins on it alongside. It is just, like I said, a super inconsistent map for them. It feels like they can't really find their footing perfectly, but given the right moment, given the right day, they certainly can take this one.
Yeah, but look, that day is going to have to be today. We're heading into Anubis now. Hopefully for Preasy they can take things, and we do go to that third and final map of Nuke. But look, Charlie, something I want to point out. The opening kill department was somewhat dominated by Project G. In the 23 rounds that we saw, 15 of them, the opening kills were found by Project G. And I think when you look at that, you realise kind of, you know, how much easier these rounds would have been for the likes of Project G.
Yeah, I mean, a number of them, they did go on to fail. A-Bombs is actually open. It is free for the taking, but yet Project G is still not taken. I don't think they realised how cleanly Veggie was going to find the opener. So, still, Util is coming through. Has allowed a lot of these CTs to start to make their march into rotating into this A-bomb site now. Bomb's still yet to be planted. Finally is now, but when we saw the bomb site be opened up, when all the Preasy players were towards B, and when the bomb's actually gone down, it's very stark contrast. It doesn't matter though, Veggie in the heavens does find one. And kills, yeah, do crumble. It looked good for a moment when Veggie only found one there, so maybe there's a chance, but no, too much damage though. Excellent opener from Veggie to kick things off, and Project G do win another pistol round.
Well, Charlie,
every pistol so far.
You mentioned it. Obviously, it was the fact that we saw, you know, we saw Project G find that opener from Veggie and they didn't decide to take the air bomb site. I actually like the delay. They had a fair bit of utility, so instead of just sending Veggie out where he could have been met by a couple more players, I like the kind of the fallback and the more passive decision there from Project G, just to ensure that they guaranteed the round win. But just going to be a bit of an Astralis stack here from Preasy towards the A bomb site.
Yeah, 3 Mac 10s once again. If we do see Preasy actually just go on to look to save, this would probably be a pretty solid round for them to do so. Obviously, I imagine we will see these Macs hunting.
It's the right decision, isn't it? I think if the USPs can just keep themselves alive, okay, yeah, they've got nothing to gain by surviving, but I think at the same time they've got far more to lose. You know, giving these Mac 10s that money bonus just makes things tough, but the Mac 10s will come through and find a couple. Switch to the P250 from Richie. We'll find 4 in that round. Begs the question, maybe Richie should have just fallen back and allowed Veggie to come through from CT. But Project G, 2-0 start. Not going to be the greatest of buys from Preasy in the next. Equip, once again. We've seen this a lot from Equip, Charlie. He decides to take the hit when it comes to weaponry. Opts for that kind of maximum utility. But because of the Mac 10s in play, Preasy, they are going to just have to bring out head armor. They can't risk just going for that Kevlar. It's looking as though it's going to be a bit of a fast pop here towards the A-bomb site. We do have those 3 Mac 10s in play, so ensuring they gain their true utilization. Equip is just holding these flashes. If we see... Oh, steps are going to be coming through now. Utility has to come through. It's so late. Great opener from Jax. Richie will go down though, but the trade is important and it's key for Veggie. And with this weaponry retrieved, surely just a save for Preasy. No kit in play, nothing to work with, but Project G, great opener there. But Jax, very impressive to find that first.
What a wild opener from Jax. It feels like he is the only man on this planet who gets opening kills like that, who gets kills like that in general. I mean, it feels so reminiscent of the type of player he actually is. I mean, you look back to many of his previous rosters, he did the same thing there, really. But I'm just mind blown that he pushes through. There is no util down. Thomas isn't blinded at all. Thomas is staring at Jax, but the Mac 10, the lack of head armor, the instant headshot, just absolutely decimates him.
It wasn't the lack of it. They had head armor. All 5 of them bought head armor.
Oh, they had head armor. Well, even worse than...
Yeah, I know.
Oh, even better, I suppose, from Jax, and he still wants more. Going to be dunking out this nade. Nade gets thrown out, never actually has time to explode, though.
It wouldn't have meant anything anyway. Wouldn't have been too problematic, but yeah, I really like the way that Project G play that. It's just, look, we've got Mac 10s, we're going to send it towards A. Jax, just do your best, mate, see what you can find, and obviously found the picks. And they go into it with 3 Mac 10s, they come out of it with 4 rifles. Not too bad at all.
J1 peeking towards E-Box, gets found instantaneously. And this 3-man A-hard, you can see they're starting to be paranoid about the A-play that we have been seeing. Truth does go down. A bit of damage has been dealt to a few of the players. Will take huge find for Veggie, though. Look how much space this opens up now for the T's.
It's not only about the space being opened up, though, Charlie. It's the fact that the rifles have fallen here for Preasy. It means, you know, if these 3 rifles got saved across, or, you know, if kills came through from the Deagles, then you could argue, okay, maybe Preasy can have a bit of a go of it. But, as I said, the fact that the 2 rifles are falling just means the investment is going to be kind of fully coming through. Only one player going to have money. I don't even know if it's going to be Skage. Skage could, in fact, just drop an AWP across to J-Bone. I think that might be the right decision to make.
Not sure how Tops hasn't retrieved a weapon. There is one towards A main that he might be trying to set his sights towards, but it's disappointing if he only leads this round with Deagle, but no, you can see he's starting to make the journey towards main to retrieve that AK. Should be able to do so. Yeah, there we go. AK is in hand, so a couple of weapons have been saved, so money's not looking too bad now for Preasy. Can have a few players with a little bit of cash in the reserve, but yeah, I mean, this was a huge find. Richie finding Jabone towards E-Box really did shut down any chance of these rifles maybe getting any work done.
As expected, though, Charlie, we do have the AWP out for Preasy. Hopefully that will be a differing factor for their success. But already Project G, they're 4 rounds up. And also, Charlie, something I've got to point out. Preasy, they were the ones who could have decided what side they started on. Started on the CT side. So maybe that's just kind of a comfort side. Maybe Preasy, when they play Anubis, they usually pick it, so they normally start CT side. So they're thinking, look, we normally start CT side here, let's just keep things like that, let's not change anything up. But I really don't know. I don't think it's the right decision.
It does feel like we've spoken about that more than probably we've ever spoken about it in the past recently, and it has always seemingly been on a map like Anubis, but this is actually a masterclass right now from Jax towards mid. Has found 3. We've seen Jabone in these sort of positions make some magic happen before. We'll be backing away. Missed shot to Jax.
Yeah, that kind of defines this round. Era, not worried at all, gonna push through. Will fall to the molly, but also takes down the AWP, so no problems here. But it's a 5-0 start, Charlie.
Yeah, it's been really excellent. I mean, I hope we get to see some sort of replay on Jax's mid play. Even if we don't, I think that'll be cemented into my memory for a while. How clean all of those kills were. He's 7-1 right now. Truth hasn't even been required. But this is a really brilliant start from Project G. Don't want to get ahead of myself just too much yet, as we did see a good start from them on Inferno, of course, before things did start spiraling away from them.
Yeah, but look, Charlie, on Inferno, it wasn't their map pick. They started on the weaker side. You know, when it comes to their kind of Inferno, CT side's pretty poor for them. I guess so, when you look at their T side win percentage, it's not great either, 39.1. But I think Project G, just the individuals, the way they're playing is just exceptional. And it's kind of quite similar to what we said about Inferno. I feel like the cooling and the gameplay has been a lot better from Project G when it comes to the team play. But the individuals are still hitting so hard.
Decent mid hold here. I like the setup that we're seeing from Preasy, but no pressure is being applied to mid at all. Jax, you can see he's playing quite passively. And from quite a deep angle, actually, just holding for any aggression.
Util coming towards house here. We are seeing the rotation from J-Bone. Makes his way towards the A-bomb side, but Util heading over the top here towards B. Preasy have actually done a really good job to keep their util. You look at everyone but Skage, really. They've got enough utility to defend. Both B players playing from CT, though. All it takes is one smoke, and this round becomes very difficult. J-Bone rotating in. There's still another player on the left-hand side towards CT, but it's able to find another important pick there from J-Bone. We've got a flank coming through from Equip. Tops could make his way with him, or you could also jump down. Nice damage there onto Era. Richie's low as well. A real opportunity for this retake here from Preasy.
B main obviously still open. Veggie starting to glance towards here now. Oh, huge kill to find.
And that's the kill to disrupt this round. Becky takes a fair bit of damage. Era gets one with the AWP, but J-Bone and Tops very quick, and now they know that Veggie's here. Smoke can be dropped, and Veggie falls to J-Bone. Enough time for the defuse, so Preasy, they will take the round, but things got a little bit difficult for them. I think when Equip fell, that was kind of the go call for both J-Bone and Becky to push through the smoke onto the bomb side. But great round there from J-Bone, it has to be said.
Yeah, Veggie, I mean, I like the idea of swinging before the smoke actually blooms. Feels like his best chance to find that kill. So close to finding it as well. Needs to get the instant headshot. J-Bone too quick with the AWP, and Preasy will win their first round. Finally, a bit of success here from them on Anubis.
Ooh, I like the idea here from Veggie. The lurk smoke, but Becky's so prepared for it. It's just so easy. When that smoke comes through, I think the only way it can work well is if Project G just heavily conditioned, but Era gets one. Can't double down, though. Spray had to be better. Would have brought it to that 3-on-3, but Charlie, this is all a fake. This is all
look where the bomb is.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think this is where Project G might look to just kind of find a pick and then head their way back towards the bomb, but the CTs are going to be prepared for this. They know there can be this late lurk. Tops is holding from Temple. Equip playing deep towards Beach. Still time to work with here, but you have to imagine, Charlie, if the bomb was on the back of either Jax or Truth, this could still be a possible round, but the fact they've got to make their way back towards stairs to retrieve it makes things a bit tougher here. We could, in fact, just see the save come through from these final two. I think we both know, though, that they might decide to give it a bit of a go.
Yeah, they should at least be slightly aware there's a good chance the A-bomb site is still clear and Preasy are playing for this retake. No one has rotated on in. A decent bit of util is still on these Ts. If they don't use it to clear out the bomb site, they can use it to sort of halt any rotations in. Utils are starting to come through now. Bomb will be planted and we will find ourselves in a retake.
There's still so much utility though from the CTs. We should see Preasy take this one if the trading and spacing's good. But oh, great nade! Jax can find two. Might be able to find his third. Oh, not the best of swings and trade attempts from Truth. Once Jax gets that double, that round is very possible. We need to see Truth though hitting though. 0-4. He's had opportunities now. We said before, okay, didn't really matter because Project G were just running away with things. But I think in that round, Truth has to get at least one.
Difficult not to have to find anything, but Fort very close again is going to keep the economy as humble as possible for Preasy, but we do see the AWP out now finally from Era. In both maps he's been pretty content just to stick with the rifles for the time being. Which is, I mean, always nice to see, because there are just sometimes strats or plays that you want to make where the rifle is just a lot stronger, really. First kill, J-Bone takes down Truth easily. Flashbang does come in his eyes, but it doesn't matter.
We see the kind of the deep A main smoke thrown by Project G, and it begs the question, why are they not just waiting for that to land and then they decide to take control? But with that, opener has been found by Preasy. Kind of praise Project G on their success when it comes to opening kills on Inferno. Not been too successful here. Ooh, Miss Molotov is tough. Strong rotations have already come through. Top's now realising he's got a smoke, might use it towards middle to help out Equip.
Yeah, Project G are still lining up outside A. Does feel like that's going to be the main point of contention. Jax towards Evox. Looks like he's creeping out towards B, in fact.
Yeah, if Jax can get one kill here, it'd be impressive, but Skage so prepared for it, and with Jax falling, that is going to be the go call here from Project G. J-Bone forced towards heaven with that molly. Nice find onto Veggie. And he can just re-peek. Here now posted up with the big green. 1 versus 5. Flash coming over. Swing coming through, but can only find one. Or one more, I guess you could say. Preasy. Important streak of rounds from them here.
I mean, buys are still coming out for Project G, but it is feeling super reminiscent right now of Inferno.
Yeah, Preasy can win this round, though. They should upset the finances, and we might see a bit of a half buy coming through. Pivotal round for both sides here. Project G, they can look to find themselves their 6th, and great nade there on the J-Bone. Oh, but Richie gets that opener. Very low HP, but he's done very well there. Era taking down Equip. It's 5-on-2, and tough times for Becky. Nades the smoke, but Veggie peaks.
Tops is actually going to be pushing out towards mid, but Jax is super ready for it. So aware, and it's just the individuals on full display for Project G. But you can see when players aren't spearheading an attack, when we aren't seeing Jax get a triple towards mid, when we aren't seeing Jax get the opener towards A, when we aren't finding Richie get these kills towards E-box, things do slow down, and that's where the problems do come through from Project G. Although these guys are great at finding them, they're tough to replicate.
But Charlie, you look at all 4 of those kills that come through from Project G. No trade possibility. No kind of. It's not as though that was a strategy of them. That's just default. That was one player peeking towards middle early. Era finds the pick. We see one peeking towards E-box, and where Richie finds. Jack's just sitting back, waiting for the mid aggression, and then obviously we see Veggie find the opener with the nade of the smoke. These are 4 kills that could have all gone the other way. So I feel like Project G. Okay, yeah, the individuals are hitting heavy. When you look at Era, Veggie, Richie, and Jax, truth, maybe not the best of games, but look, who cares? I think with the fact that everyone else is stepping up, it doesn't really matter. But it's just when Roof is in these scenarios where he can kind of find picks in the clutches, we need to see that kind of stand-up, because obviously Preasy, they can very much come back into this game. It's not done. It's a T-sided map. If Project G can only find 6, if Preasy win the next 3 rounds in a row, you know, there's still strong chances here from the Danish guys.
Those chances, like you said, certainly can still come. Because we've seen some good glimpses throughout this whole series, really. It's a similar story in terms of, it feels like once again it's only Skej and Jabot that are the ones making many waves happen on this in this series. Becky Equip and Tops all having a difficult time of things. And this is a very stark contrast when you realise that Becky's one of the players that often has shown some of the brightest sparks for Preasy.
Yeah, definitely. Becky in the past has been kind of the